animals that not everyone knows exist, and that seem to have come from another planet. These things are very strange. Now, get comfortable and let's get started. Number 1. The alligator turtle of the genus Macrocheles is one of the largest freshwater turtles. With a distinctive shell and serrated edges, it can measure up to 80 centimeters. Their coloration varies, generally in shades of brown or olive for camouflage in aquatic habitats. It stands out for its ability to remain submerged thanks to its adapted nose. This species is carnivorous, feeding on fish, crustaceans, and waterfowl, using its powerful jaw and sharp teeth. Although imposing, it faces conservation threats such as habitat loss and illegal trapping. Conservation measures are implemented, but more awareness and effort is needed to ensure their survival. In summary, the alligator turtle is fascinating for its aquatic adaptations, its crucial role in aquatic ecosystems, and the conservation challenges it faces. Number 2. The gharial crocodile is a fascinating species known for its unique appearance and aquatic adaptations. It is a large reptile found in freshwater rivers on the Indian subcontinent. Its distinctive feature is its long, thin snout, which accounts for more than half of its total length. This reptile is a skilled swimmer and feeds mainly on fish, thanks to its specialized jaw structure. Their sharp, pointed teeth are ideal for catching aquatic prey. The gharial crocodile prefers habitats with calm, soft waters, such as rivers and estuaries. Despite its imposing appearance, the gharial crocodile is considered endangered. Habitat loss, water pollution, and poaching are significant threats to their survival. Conservation efforts are being implemented to protect this species, including captive breeding programs and public awareness of the importance of preserving its natural habitat. In summary, the gharial crocodile stands out for its long and thin snout, adapted for hunting fish. Although it faces conservation challenges, efforts are underway to protect this unique species and contribute to its preservation in the wild. Number 3. Promicoteuthis sulcus is a species of squid that belongs to the family Promicoteuthidea. These squid are known for their unique morphological characteristics and have been identified in deep waters. Characterized by its unusual appearance, Promicoteuthis sulcus has a distinctive appearance with a large, flattened head, prominent eyes, and short tentacles. It has also been observed to have elongated fins on the upper part of its body, which gives it a peculiar appearance. These squid typically live deep in the ocean, making their study a challenge. Since relatively little is known about its habits and behaviors, research on Promicoteuthis sulcus continues to better understand its ecology and biology. Number 4. Ribbon worms are a group of parasites belonging to the phylum Platyhelminths and, more specifically, to the cestode group. These flat parasites have elongated, flattened bodies that resemble ribbons, hence their common name. Tapeworm life cycles typically involve 2 or more hosts. Typically, the intermediate host is a herbivorous or carnivorous animal that ingests the eggs or larvae of the cestodes. Once inside the host, the larvae develop into forms called cysticercids. When an animal, such as a mammal, consumes the raw or undercooked meat of the intermediate host, cysticercids are released into the digestive tract. They then adhere to the intestinal mucosa and develop into adult worms. Some species of tapeworms can parasitize humans, causing conditions such as taeniasis. Taeniasis is infection with adult tapeworms in the human intestine, and can occur when consuming raw or undercooked meat that contains the larvae of these parasites. It is important to observe hygienic practices and properly cook foods to prevent infection from tapeworms and other foodborne parasites. If infection is suspected, medical attention should be sought for proper diagnosis and treatment. Number 5. Chiasmodon niger is a species of deep-sea fish that belongs to the family Chiasmodontidae. It is commonly known as the black gobbler due to its dark appearance and unique eating habits. This fish is found in the depths of the ocean, specifically in the mesopelagic zone, where sunlight barely penetrates. Some notable characteristics of Chiasmodon niger include its small size, usually around 10 centimeters in length, and its extendable jaw, which allows it to swallow prey larger than its own body. This fish feeds on other marine organisms in the depths, using its sharp teeth to capture prey. Chiasmodon niger has been the subject of interest for biological research due to its unique adaptation to the abyssal environment and its specialized feeding behavior. Studies on this fish contribute to the understanding of life in the deep sea, where conditions are extremely difficult for most life forms. Number 6. The ugliest goat in the world, Damascus goats, are one of the strangest looking animals on our planet. These animals are raised mainly for meat, milk, and leather, but their appearance is what is most talked about them. Since you only find them in Damascus, I think this is an animal you probably haven't seen before. Damascus Market is very famous among local consumers. All types of farm animals are traded here: cows, sheep, chickens, and the famous Damascus goats. Something very curious about these goats is that not all of them look like this one you are seeing. In reality, a Damascus goat looks like any other goat. The only thing different is that its ears are longer, but among them, there is a group of Damascus goats that have a gene that has deformed them, giving them that ugly appearance. For some strange reason, people highly value Damascus goats that have that ugliness gene. They say that specimens have already been sold for more than $60,000 for a single goat. I think that's a lot of money. Because of their unique appearance, and since you only find them in this market, Damascus goats are one of the least known animals to people. Number 7. Purple frog, one of the most unknown animals to humanity. Those frogs spend almost all their time inside their burrow. They only leave it for 2 weeks throughout the year. I think we are similar in that. The only reason they come out of their burrow is to mate. It seems that all the purple frogs agree to go out and get to know each other. They mate and return again to the burrow from which they will not leave until the next mating season. And that's the only thing they do in their entire miserable life. Since she spends almost all her time hiding, not much was known about her. They were recently discovered in 2003 almost by chance in India. They are barely 7 centimeters long and look like a piece of poop, so it was not easy to know of its existence. They only live in a small region called the Western Ghats and nowhere else on our planet. They are considered living fossils since their roots go back about 100 million years, and they have evolved almost nothing since then. Now you know the purple frog. Congratulations. Add that to the list of things you know, but that are not going to serve you any purpose in your life. Number 8. The cockroach on steroids. These are the giant isopods, the cockroaches of the ocean. These creatures live in the cold depths of the oceans, where sunlight never reaches. It is believed that the largest colony of these animals is in the Atlantic Ocean. It is considered one of the oldest species in the ocean. There are fossil records of them from before the dinosaurs. It is a garbage creature. It eats all the waste that falls on the seabed and is part of the army of creatures that clean the bottom of the sea. Sometimes, if hunger is very great and they do not find animal remains to feed on, they become predators. They devour sea cucumbers, sea sponges, and whatever comes their way. In the deep abyss, food is scarce. Sometimes they can go months without eating. That's why when they find food, they don't leave anything at all. Not much else is known about their behavior in their natural habitat. They live in an area where there is no light, and it is difficult to access. So it is very likely that you did not know of its existence. Number 9. Mola mola fish, also known as sunfish, is the heaviest bony fish in the world. Specimens have been found measuring more than 3 meters in length and weighing more than 2 tons. They live in tropical and temperate waters around the planet. They feed mainly on jellyfish, which is their favorite food. The problem is that jellyfish are not that rich in nutrients, so in order to achieve their daily diet, they have to eat a lot of jellyfish, as if there were no tomorrow. So it's not that they are bloodthirsty beasts that devour everything in their path. In fact, they are quite calm. But I mean, who wouldn't be afraid of running into one of these animals down there? The appearance is not pretty at all, and compared to a human they are gigantic. In the ocean food chain, the sunfish is one of the strongest. Due to its large size and thick skin, not everyone dares to bother it. In reality, the most worrying threat to them is us, humans. Its meat is considered a delicacy in some parts of the world, such as Japan, Korea, and Taiwan. It is currently on the list of vulnerable species in the ocean. That body that looks like a large head with fins must be one of the most curious animals in the depths. Have you seen it before? Number 10. The most terrifying crab ever. Have you ever seen such a huge crab? This animal is the giant Japanese crab. It lives in the depths of the Pacific Ocean off the coast of Japan. You find it between 300 and 500 meters deep, and it behaves like any other crab. When they see human presence, they usually hide. The legs of this crab measure more than 2 meters long, making it the largest arthropod in the world. I know his legs look skinny, but don't jump to conclusions so quickly. They are actually stronger than you imagine. They are said to be more powerful than a crocodile's jaw. If that thing grabs you with its pincers, that's as far as you've come. But don't worry, they are quite calm creatures and spend much of their days searching for food. They generally do not hunt, but rather feed on dead and decaying animals or plants that they find on the seabed. The life expectancy of these crabs is 100 years old. Pretty long life for a crab. Another interesting fact about them is that the female can lay up to 1,500,000 eggs during the spawning season. It's not every day you see one of these crabs, right? I think it is one of the strangest animals that inhabit our planet. Number 11. Babirusa, a little pig that perhaps you didn't know. The Babirusa is a rare breed of pig that lives on the Sulawesi Islands and as offensive weapons. The curve they take is not outward, which would be logical if they were used as weapons, but rather they curve inward towards their own face. Scientists believe that they serve to protect their faces when they have fights with other pigs. The upper fangs basically break the Babirusa's snout, protrude from its oral cavity, and pierce its skin, and worst of all, they never stop growing. Babirusas have been seen with injuries to their own face due to those fangs. These animals are considered special because they only strangest little pigs. Not many people have heard of these animals, but now you know them. Number 12. The resistant rat ever seen that hairless animal is the naked mole rat. They are small rodents that live in underground tunnels in Ethiopia, Kenya, and Somalia, and they like to feed on roots and tubers, so they are considered a plague. They are capable of spoiling your carrot crop in just a few days, so be careful with them. When they discovered their existence, it was not known if they were a new species or if they were sick rats that had lost their hair. As time went by, scientists began to study them and indeed discovered that they were a new species, and they also found other surprising things. It is believed that they have the secret to eternal youth. Their life expectancy is greater than that of other rodents. A common rat lives on average about 3 years, but the naked mole rat lives to be close to 30 years old. They usually die from other predators rather than from old age. They also have a high resistance to developing tumors. Basically, they are immune to cancer. As if that were not enough, it can also survive several minutes without oxygen. The human brain begins to die when it lacks oxygen for 1 minute, but they can endure up to 18 minutes without oxygen. I think we are facing one of the most curious animals in the world. Number 13. The immortal jellyfish. Its scientific name is Turritopsis nutricula. Of the almost 4,000 species of jellyfish that we know of, this is perhaps the most surprising. It was discovered in 1843, but its ability to live forever was recognized only a few years ago. Apparently, when the jellyfish reaches a certain adulthood, it returns to its first phase of development and restarts its life cycle again. It is as if humans, upon reaching adulthood, could make our body return to youth without becoming smaller and keeping our body as is. Jellyfish can repeat this process over and over forever. Researchers believe that this mechanism could be replicated in humans when sufficiently advanced molecular genetic knowledge is available. Can you imagine that? It is not yet known very well how this jellyfish carries out the entire process, but it is already being studied. Jellyfish only die when they are prey to their predators. There is no mechanism that can save you from being eaten by another animal. You have heard of these jellyfish. Did you know of their existence? Number 14. The bird you won't want to disturb. The shoebill is a majestic bird that lives in the central eastern region of Africa. What is most impressive about this animal is its enormous Swedish-Dutch beak and its penetrating gaze. If you see her from the front, you probably don't want to bother her. Fortunately, they are not violent birds, but you never know, so you better not go near them. Measuring about 1.5 meters tall, they are the largest bird in Africa. Because they have a big head and thin legs, they tend to spread their wings to balance themselves when they walk, which makes them look even more terrifying than they already are. Little is known about their behavior and what their life is like in their natural habitat. They are in danger of extinction, and that has made studying them very complicated. It is very rare to see a specimen of these in the wild. It is estimated that the world population of these birds is between 3,000 and 5,000 individuals, and it does not seem that things are going to improve for them in the near future. There are so few left, and they are not well documented, so not many know about them or have even seen them. Number 15. Chick caterpillar. If you see this thing, don't touch it. It is likely that if you find this tuft of hair on a plant, you will have the impulse to touch it, but that is the worst thing you could do. This is a stuffed caterpillar, a larva covered in long, dense hair like setae. Some innocent people have been carried away by their cottony appearance and held them in their hands without knowing that they are highly poisonous. They may seem soft and innocent, but under that layer of hair hide thorns that will cause you unbearable pain. The reactions from its sting are similar to those experienced from the sting of bees, wasps, and ants, only its effect lasts much longer, up to 12 hours. It will cause irritation and, in the worst cases, vomiting and dizziness. There are those who describe the pain very similar to when you break a bone. The main recommendation I can give you is that if you see a thing that looks like a wig in the middle of the forest, don't touch it. These caterpillars have been found in rural areas of almost all of the American continent, so be careful when you go camping.